Hello there. Thanks for coming across to the other side. So what we've done is we've prepared 4 different videos. One about things to do in the area, one about the wineries, one about the wonderful places to eat, and one about our place. So maybe you want to end up having a look at our place. But let's start with all the things that there are to do in the area. I mean, it's out here, first of all, in the middle of open country. So what you get is something that's so precious these days. You get the peace and quiet. And every evening behind us here, we have the most amazing sunsets. So this is a fantastic place to come back to at the end of the day and watch a sunset. But during the day, there's so much to do. There are so many different things that are interesting and educational almost, which is a funny way to spend a holiday, but really fine ways to spend your time.
So 10 minutes from us, a little town called Azaruja, there's a cork factory. And the guy, it's a family-run business, and the son speaks English. And if we can give him a bit of notice, we can let him know you're coming. And he can explain the process of what they do with cork once it comes off the trees, and how they process it, and then what they do with it to make it into all these amazing things. It's amazing what they do with cork. We've actually seen a dress made out of cork. I don't know how that works. But you get shoes, you get bags, you get hats, there's all kinds of stuff. And it's a very, very, very good for shopping because they're not so heavy to carry back home.
Another thing you might want to do is go to the olive grove and do a sampling of olives. There's a man there who's inherited a small olive grove from his dad, and what he does is he has produced his own brand olive oil. It's really fantastic. So you trundle along there in the day and he'll give you a tour of the olive grove. He explains the whole process. You do what's really strange, an olive oil tasting, and he explains what to look for in tasting different olive oils. And it's really nice of an evening or in the afternoon to finish that off with a cheese and wine platter and just have a chat with him and his family. It's a wonderful way to spend a morning.
The other thing you can do, near Estremoz, there's a little town called Borba, and then Vila Viçosa, and that's the marble area of Portugal. Our bathrooms are made of marble taken from this area. You can go on a marble tour. There's a lovely lady and gentleman in Vila Viçosa will again explain the process. They can take you during the week, they can take you to the quarries, and these quarries are amazing. They're so deep, and they've got lifts that go up and down, and they've got lakes in the middle, and it's just amazing to see what they do, how they extract it, and then how they make it into products for selling. Really, really interesting and completely different to the normal kind of tour that you would do.
If history is your thing, just across the road, there's a wonderful lady called Matilde. She can speak English, Portuguese, German, I don't know, French, she can speak anything. But the main point is, she will take you round the castle, our fantastic castle, and she'll give you a walk within the walls, and she explains the history, why they built it, who was here, anything of that you find interesting and important. Because remember, this is where they signed the peace treaty at the end of the big war, and they've got a little place built up where you can go and see where they signed, what they signed, and so on. And it's really interesting. But Matilde walks around, and just her local knowledge and understanding of everything in the area makes for a fantastic morning walk. She also offers walks if that's something you want to do. We've done it a couple of times. You can disappear with her for 3 or 4 hours, and she'll walk you down the bottom of the hill, through the olive groves, explaining all that, up through the cork groves. Do you call them cork groves? The cork groves. She'll take you through that, but explaining the process. And if you want to, halfway along, again, you can stop and have a lunch. It's a really fantastic way to spend a day and learn about the region and learn about the 2 main traditional industries that we have here.
And Matilde's mum, Elena, is another lovely lady.
They're all lovely ladies.
They're all lovely
ladies.
All
lovely ladies.
Who offers weaving workshops. She's got looms in her shop, and I've done 2 now. And she's got traditional looms. She's got about 4 or 5 in there, and just really, really lovely thing to learn. Or you can just, if you don't have time to do that, you can go in and have a chat with them, buy some things. It's a really, really nice little shop, and they're lovely. And also in the village, we have another shop, a little craft shop run by Inocencia Lopez. She buys really, really high quality items from around Portugal. It's a really, really lovely shop. She's also very talented, and she makes what we call bonecos of Estremoz, which are small clay figurines. They've got UNESCO World Heritage status. And she makes them beautifully. She makes them to order, and she makes them beautifully. So go and have a chat with her. I'm sure you'll find something to take back home.
What I like about what Inocencia does is she had this idea to take little rocks and paint them so they look like the little Portuguese houses. So you get this tiny little rock that looks like a traditional Portuguese house. And the thing that's great about those is that they're fantastic for taking back home because they are indestructible. So you can pop them in your bag amongst the socks or something, and when you get to the other side, you can be sure that your little Portuguese house is intact and in good nick. In fact, it's probably going to outlive you. They are wonderful gifts to take back for people.
So there are many options around here. Another one would be to go and have a visit to Monsaraz. It's a little hilltop town on the border with Spain. There's nice little restaurants there, little shops, textile shops, pottery shops. It's really, really nice place to go and wander. Nearby there's Alqueva, which is the largest reservoir in Europe. When it's really, really hot in the summer, it's not a bad place to go. You can go swimming there on the beach there. There's also Dark Sky, a place where you can go. They've got a massive big telescope, so you go at night and they will show you the stars with no light pollution. It's so dark, and they're just stunning. On the way to Monsaraz, there's a little village called San Pedro de Corval with 20 different potteries in the village. So that's a lot of shopping, that is. They've got a little interpretive centre, so you can go there first, and it's got a little sample of each pottery, so you can go and see which ones you like the look of best, and then you can go to the pottery and go and do a bit of shopping. A nice way to spend a day, and then you can come back here and just chill and relax.
Or you can shoot into Évora. Évora's got wonderful attractions like the old bridge, the Roman bridge, the whole city, the cathedral, and possibly the weirdest attraction I've ever seen is the Chapel of Bones. Some bugger during some war or something went out to the local graveyard hundreds of years ago, dug up all the graves, and then lined this chapel with people's skeletons. It's really weird, but it's worth a look. And the place is just packed with fantastic restaurants. So it's nice to trundle into Évora for the day, see the Chapel of Bones, see the castle, have a nice lunch. But as I've said before, at the end of the day, make your way back here to the middle of the best that the Alentejo has to offer. Get a glass of wine, watch the sunset behind us, brilliant views, then plan your next day. We look forward to seeing you here. It'll be great. Cheers, man.